Hi guys, and welcome back to Screenology, where I talk everything on screen. Today I wanted to cover an extremely underrated Disney movie, which is Raya and the Last Dragon, which is actually really surprising, seeing as it's Disney. If you haven't watched it, I have one question for you. It's why? Why haven't you watched it? Go on, go watch it right now. Pause the video, I can wait. If you don't have Disney Plus, I'm sure there's some illegal means of being able to. I never said that, but it's a valid point. Anyway, there will be spoilers ahead. You've been warned. Now, on to Raya. Firstly, I want to express how much I love this movie. Not only is it extremely visually stunning, but the plot, the character development throughout, and the romantic tension between Namari and Raya. Never mind, I just really like the story. On a serious note, this movie was one of the first Disney movies to make me cry in a long time. The story is basically about this divided nation, Avatar the Last Airbender, is that you? That was once called Kumandra, and due to the greedy actions of the separated said nations, they break the last bit of magic that actually kept them safe this whole time. The dragons used this magic to save Kumandra, but since it broke, these storm-like neon light creatures called Druuns started to rise again and turn people to stone. All of the dragons who saved the humans before were gone, except for possibly one. So Raya goes ahead and tracks her down, and they start on a journey of friendship, trust, and a lot of Binturi throwing. But what makes this movie so great with its visually stunning components is the undeniably beautiful plot that tells us just how important it is to put our trust into others, and even into the unknown. Of course, the divided nation of Fang, Heart, Earth, Air, Water, Talon, Spine, and Tail, all hate one another, and they have not even an ounce of trust in their body for each other, even as the world crumbles down around them. So as we go along, Sisu, the last dragon, is learning that the world is a little broken and without trust. But this doesn't stop her from being brazen and putting her faith in others who she knows little to nothing about. Raya, having grown up in a world where there was no trust and had frankly seen the cruelty of the other nations, she was unable to trust as easily as Sisu, and I don't blame her. Namari was acting like a big Binturi for throwing hands at Raya like that over the magic, and breaking it like, are you freaking serious, girl? Anyways, she basically caused the Druuns to re-emerge, so I understand where Raya's come from. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, as the movie progresses, we see things heat up as Raya is actually able to collect almost all of the pieces of the last bit of magic left to stop the Druuns. Namari, of course, feels threatened by the fact that Sisu is alive, and Raya is teamed up with her, so she brandishes her arrow. Sisu obviously trusts Namari not to shoot, but Raya screws that up and doesn't put enough trust in Namari like Sisu does, and ultimately forces Namari's hand into shooting Sisu and killing her. All hell just absolutely breaks loose, of course, and the Druun finally take over. When it comes down to it, the gang of misfits, all from separate parts of the nation, put their trust into Raya and Namari in order for things to go back to normal. We see Raya hesitate for only a moment before she finally resides all fear and takes a leap of faith in trusting Namari to do the right thing, which is assembling the magic. And she does. She assembles all the pieces and restores humanity to what it once was. Sisu comes back too and basically says, well, I told you so, about needing to trust in others. The plot is extremely important to us as an audience because of the ever-growing distrust in the world around us. Sisu really embodies the whole idea of that sometimes we just have to trust in people, even if it makes us absolutely terrified that we don't even think we can or that we want to, but we kind of have to. In life, we might meet people who break our trust or give us a reason not to trust others, but we really have to move away from that idea that everyone will disappoint us. That's why what Raya does in the end, by putting her trust in Namari to do the right thing, was showing that sometimes showing people that trust will actually push them to be trustworthy. Sometimes showing distrust is more harmful than actually trusting someone. By not trusting people, you may be giving them a reason not to act in a trustworthy way. It's a weird premise, I know, but really at the end of the day, the worst that can happen is that someone hurts you. And although that would suck, it would obviously say a lot more about the person who broke your trust than about you. But the movie isn't just about trusting in people, it's about trusting yourself to make the right decision too, and trusting that everything, no matter how dire it may seem, will work out. When you put your trust into the unknown, it can be so daunting, of course, but you have to in order to find out, well, was the risk really worth it? And sometimes those risks can be beautiful things in the end. A good example may be when we try small business ventures or join a sport we've never done before. It can be a scary process when you have to learn new things and meet new people, but we naturally have to put our trust into the unknown that it will all work out, and that if it doesn't, perhaps there was a bigger and better reason as to why. Like, you're supposed to win the lottery or something. If we put it this way, we can literally trust the person at McDonald's to put 10 nuggets in our nugget meal every time. We should be able to trust ourselves and the journey that we want to go on. I guess what Disney was trying to do was truly show us how important it is to trust each other, trust the process, and trust ourselves. In this world where it's a lot of uncertainty, sometimes the smallest ounce of trust put in another person can make an incredible and amazing difference. I mean, some would even argue it's an important lesson about forgiveness as well, that we can be forgiven by those who have hurt us in the past, just as Sisu forgave Namari and Raya for what happened. So basically, what Disney was saying was, let's all take a bit of Sisu's nature with us, value our friendships, and never be afraid to trust in those around you, even if you've gone years without trusting someone. Just give it a try and you'll be surprised at what awaits you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video covering Raya the Last Airbender. I mean, Aang the Last Dragon. No. Raya the Last Dragon. These two worlds have so many similarities, that could be a whole other video. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Consider subscribing and giving this video a like if you agree with what I talked about. Or let me know down in the comments what you thought. Maybe you got a different and louder message, like that it's okay to have a crush on the member of an opposing nation. Or a Binturi, should I say. Either way, I'll see you in the next video for more breakdowns of what's on screen.